12s, there are moments when Seattle flips its energy so fast it feels like the whole city starts breathing differently. And over the last few hours, that's exactly what happened. The defense jumped to such a ridiculous level that it completely changes the way fans look at this team. But on offense, a problem showed up, a problem big enough that you just can't ignore it, and one that could directly impact the final stretch of the season. And right in the middle of all that, a young defender started taking on a role so unique, so out of the usual script, that even the head coach admitted it. This changes the system from the inside out. Stick with me until the end, because these updates are already lining up debates among fans and analysts. Drop a like, hit subscribe, and come with me, because today's video isn't just important, it might reshape what you expect from the Seahawks moving forward. When I say the Seattle Seahawks have turned into a powerhouse, I'm not exaggerating, I'm not being sentimental, and I'm not being a hypebeast fan. After 12 games, you can say with confidence that this is a strong team, solid across multiple areas, and one that finally found the identity fans have been begging for. Sure, there are flaws, swings, and limitations, but even with all that, it's still a powerhouse. And a huge part of that runs straight through the defensive mind of Mike Macdonald, who built a unit so dominant, so synchronized, so aggressive, and so confident that now, no matter what happens with Sam Darnold, this team steps on the field believing it can beat anyone in the league. The 26-0 win over the Vikings isn't just another pretty score, it's a statement. The defense blew up every offensive plan, killed the opponent's rhythm, forced mistakes, won individual battles, and controlled the game from the first snap to the last. It's the kind of performance that makes you seriously think this defense could drag Seattle all the way to the Super Bowl, even if the offense still isn't where it needs to be. Teams have lifted Lombardi with more limited quarterbacks, and with defenses way less talented than this one. But there's a red flag you just can't hide: the offensive line. For the first time this season, it actually looked like what a lot of people predicted months ago, a structural issue. And the game against Minnesota exposed that in the harshest way. Eric Edholm from NFL.com broke down the protection collapse. The Vikings blitzed on almost 2/3 of the passing snaps, and Seattle simply had no idea how to handle free rushers. It wasn't just one guy messing up. According to Edholm, it was all 5 linemen plus Darnold sharing blame. And the effect was instant. The passing game stalled, got squeezed, lost all fluidity, had no room for deeper routes, and no time to execute the plan. Darnold took 4 sacks, and while the number alone doesn't sound dramatic, the context absolutely is. The timing up front is off, assignment switches are slow, communication is muddy, and the right guard spot has become a giant target for every opponent. And that image that went viral says it all: Darnold on the ground looking at Anthony Bradford with a face that basically says, "What are you doing, man?" perfectly capturing the chaos from that drive. The final stretch includes more aggressive defenses, especially the rematch with the Rams, which is shaping up to be a flat-out trench war. Can this be fixed? In theory, barely. In practice, it feels like any free agent available right now could at least do the same, or maybe even better, than Bradford. If John Schneider actually plans to go into the playoffs with this exact lineup, he's taking a massive risk that's making everyone uneasy. The offense has potential, but it's trapped inside this technical ceiling, and that needs to be addressed before it turns into a full-blown disaster. But while the offense deals with its nightmares, the defense is discovering something completely new: the creation of a weapon Seattle has never had before. A type of player Mike Macdonald literally said he's never worked with. And here's where rookie Nick Emenwari comes in. And listen, this isn't exaggeration. Macdonald said it out loud during the press conference: "We've never had a guy like this. We're basically making this roll up as we go." That line isn't random. It makes it clear that Emenwari isn't just versatile, he's one of one. He's lining up at nickel, at dime, on the defensive line, switching techniques, going from 9-tech to 5-tech, dropping back into the slot, moving before the snap. He's a living nightmare for offensive coordinators. He forces teams to change game plans. He makes quarterbacks hesitate. He messes with the entire rhythm of an offensive line. McDonald explained that there's an internal language just to define where Emanwari is going to line up, because depending on the spot on the field, he literally becomes a different piece inside the system. And yes, McDonald compared him to Kyle Hamilton, but specifically pointed out that the process is reversed. Hamilton started deep and moved closer to the box. Emanwari started at nickel, went down to the line, moved back to coverage and earned responsibilities that no rookie should be dealing with in December. That shows two things. First, the staff trusts him completely, and second, the kid's talent is absurd, and it's been obvious since before the draft. And the numbers back it up. More than 47 tackles, 8 pass breakups, multiple games with 8 tackles, huge run stops, perfectly timed blitzes, and visible growth in route recognition. And all that after a high ankle sprain in week 1, when a lot of people thought he'd go on IR. He came back, and came back like he never missed a snap. If you like exclusive content, real analysis, behind-the-scenes context, and breakdowns nobody else is giving you, hit that like button, subscribe, and show you're a real 12, because this channel only grows thanks to you. Now, let's get into the injury updates, and they are crucial to understanding what this team can be from this point on. Mike McDonald opened the presser in that usual way of his, half joking, half straight to the point, half cryptic. And within minutes, he dropped updates that directly impact the depth of this roster. The good news is that Anthony Bradford and Josh Jobe avoided serious damage. Bradford is physically fine, even if the technical concerns are another story, and Jobe is officially out of concussion protocol. That matters a ton, because a quarterback needs instant reaction, instant recognition, and full confidence. Julian Love and Eric Saubert could have returned to practice last week, but still haven't. McDonald was clear, it's a possibility. Love has been out since week 4 with a hamstring injury, and the team is being careful because he's a leader, a stabilizer, and one of the communication pillars on defense. Not worth pushing it. As for Jarran Reed, after surgeries on his wrist and thumb, he's now eligible to come off IR. McDonald said the veteran is progressing well and they'll evaluate how he adapts throughout the week. These pieces matter because McDonald's system lives off chemistry, reps, timing, and clean coordination across all 3 levels of the defense. He talked about that, playing in harmony, reacting fast, trusting instincts. And when you look at Emanwari, Love, Jobe, Reed, Witherspoon, Rick Woolen, Byron Murphy, you can clearly see how everything connects. This defense plays in layers, in movement, in pre-snap confusion and post-snap precision. When everything clicks, it turns into a machine. In short, a lot is happening at once. Seattle is playing like a powerhouse, but it needs to fix the offensive line if it wants this to translate into postseason wins. The rookie is turning into a tactical unicorn in the NFL, and the defense keeps leveling up as if it's developing a life of its own. But now I want to hear from you 12. Which of these situations do you think could most change the direction of this season? The dominant defense, the warning sign on offense, or Emanwari's new role? Drop your thoughts because I genuinely want to know how you're seeing this moment. And of course, if you want to stay on top of everything happening with our Seahawks, like the video, subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's roll together 12s. Let's make some real noise. Go Hawks!